Today, we're kicking off an extraordinary series that ties into our opulent thinking for opulent opportunities theme that will empower and inspire you to unlock true desires and reach new heights of success, fulfillment, and purpose. In this series, we're taking lessons and insights from Ray Kroc, the quote-unquote founder of the McDonald's franchise model. And here's a quote from Ray Kroc. He says, "If you're not a risk taker, you should get the hell out of business." Excuse my language, but that is a direct quote from him. We're highlighting the fact that Ray Kroc saw potential in the McDonald's brothers' small operation that no one else saw. So in this episode, we explore how to develop a visionary mindset that allows you to see opportunities where others see limitations. Welcome back, brilliant listeners, to another episode of the Brilliant Professor-ish podcast, where we talk about life unscripted on so many different levels. I'm your host, Dr. V, your brilliant solutionist and college professor turned life professor-ish. Remember, if you like this vibe, be sure to share and subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and leave your comments and thoughts below. We love hearing from our amazing community of viewers and listeners. Let's ignite a conversation and inspire each other to join the movement of bankrupting 1 billion bearer plots by helping brilliant people move from resume to reinvention to remarkable, so they can live a life poured out above ground before all of their brilliance goes underground. Be sure to check out the corresponding blog post for the show notes and highlights. That information will be in the description box below. So let's talk about opportunistic visionary. The word opportunistic is associated with opportunists, which are people who see a chance to gain some advantage from a situation, often at the expense of ethics or morals. An opportunist seizes every opportunity to improve things for him or herself. This word has a negative connotation, but does it always have to be that way? What are your thoughts? So we're going to talk about the thought processes of Ray Kroc as it relates to being an opportunistic visionary. While he wasn't the original creator of McDonald's, he saw what the brothers didn't see: the potential for a global franchise. Ray Kroc had the ability to recognize an opportunity where others saw limitations. When he entered the McDonald's brothers' efficient restaurant, he didn't just see a profitable single location. He envisioned a nationwide chain. His thinking was expansive, always looking beyond the obvious. If you watch the movie Founder or read anything associated with the story, it's easy to think that Ray took advantage of the brothers. But remember, one of the brothers had already had the idea to expand, and they actually tried to implement it, but it failed. The vision was there, but they didn't know how to seize the opportunity. So let's talk about Ray as a leader. So as a leader, Ray Kroc inspired this vision in others, convincing franchisees to buy into his larger goal. He saw franchising as the way to achieve massive scale and stuck to this idea even when others doubted it. This shows that leadership is more than a title or position. It's a skill set and a way of being. How many ideas have you had or opportunities you encountered that you didn't follow through with because you were waiting for someone or something to validate your decision? In most cases, the validation is already there, but you haven't taken charge in guiding your actions towards that direction. The McDonald's brothers had an opportunity to expand their locations, but because it didn't work out in one direction, they stopped taking action altogether instead of steering the ship towards another path. When you have a viable idea, it is up to you, Y-O-U, to lead that ship and communicate your vision to others so they will come along for the ride. Now, let's talk about Ray and his personal mastery. Ray Kroc had the ability to focus on his end game. Once he identified McDonald's potential, he was laser focused on turning it into a global brand. I believe this is the downfall of many ideas, thinking too small, and this is why the graveyard is the wealthiest place on the planet. We have to be willing to dream big, so big and take massive, in all caps, massive, consistent action, even if we never see the end results. Maybe your idea is the launching pad to an even greater ideas to come. So let's break this down even more. We're going to talk about, if you remember in the movie, there was a part about the multi-mixer, and we're going to call that the multi-mixer revelation. In the movie, we saw how Ray Kroc started off as a traveling multi-mixer salesman, driving from town to town, carrying a physical product in the trunk of his car. How many of your products, whether digital or physical, can be sold online, but you're not willing to get online or go to speaking engagements or whatever to promote them? Although Ray kept failing, he was getting the word out about his product, which led to his office getting a call about wanting to purchase 6 to 8 machines. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a big order. You're probably not getting your big break because you're expecting the people to just fall on your website or into your store. I heard Dan Locke say that there are only 1 to 3% of your ideal customer who's actually looking for what you're selling. And the others, they have no clue that they want what you have until it shows up in front of them. Once Ray got the order and visited the restaurant with the McDonald's brothers, that is when he got the revelation to scale. He had the ability to see beyond, and that's what we have to do, see beyond, and that is the trait that every entrepreneur needs to cultivate. And even if you're not an entrepreneur, anywhere in your life, just having that mindset to see beyond still needs to be cultivated for whatever you are expecting to gain out of life. So let's talk about Ray's vision and risk. Ray Kroc's vision wasn't safe or guaranteed. His vision drove him to make bold choices like mortgaging his home to fund the McDonald's expansion. Now, I'm not saying you have to go for broke when starting a business or launching a new idea. However, it does seem like a trailblazer's rite of passage to risk it all, hit rock bottom, then have massive success. I believe part of it is to test to see how far we're willing to go for our own vision before expecting others to take a risk on something that doesn't even belong to them. How many of you are wanting people to pay you hundreds or thousands of dollars for your quote unquote thing, but you haven't invested at the same level or higher? Sometimes it's not even about the money. Perhaps you have invested money into learning and mentorship, but you haven't risked your reputation or you're worried about backlash. So you actually hide behind excuses for talking about what you do have or what you don't have. Ray essentially did a nationwide tour telling everyone he could about his vision for the McDonald's franchise model. And I have to ask, are you willing to do the same for your vision? Now we're going to talk about how vision requires bold action. Ray Kroc's story teaches us that having a vision is useless without action. A strong vision can serve as a guiding light, but it requires the courage to take risks and follow through. I believe the word action gets thrown around so casually. Here's one definition I found. Action is the accomplishment of a thing, usually over a period of time, in stages, or with the possibility of repetition. For some reason, after college or even after that major advancement or milestone, many of us have this one and done mentality as if we've already paid our action taking dues. We forget that every achievement started with a vision or a target, and it took focus and a consistent quote unquote to-dos, meaning task, over time to reach the mark. For some reason, business or any form of reinvention causes us to get action amnesia. So let's go into shifting from product to business model. Next, we're going to dive into how Ray Kroc didn't see the McDonald's product, but understood how the business model could be standardized and replicated. The McDonald's brothers had a unique system and a thriving establishment, but they only saw a fast way to get food out. Ray saw the 30,000-foot view. Same with Christian Louboutin. He didn't just see high heels. He took the seemingly forgotten part of a stiletto and turned it into one of the most recognized shoes in the world. You know, high heels, red bottoms. And fellas, you all wear red bottoms too. No matter what you're working on, you can't just see the thing You can't see the thing just for the thing, right? It's not just coaching. It's not just a book. It's not just a t-shirt or a hair care product or insert your whatever. You have to take the 30,000 foot view to see what can be standardized and replicated. This approach can be applied to your life and career as well. To be a true visionary, you have to see beyond the surface level and look for systematic solutions. So let's talk about an encouraging and visionary mindset. No matter the tactics and strategies, nothing will work without knowing how to manage your mind. Being a high-level visionary requires you to keep your lower self or your negative head chatter at bay. You have to constantly identify areas in your own business, career, or any other area of your life where you may be thinking too small. In most cases, you don't have to act on every single idea. Think of thinking big thoughts as an exercise for your brain. Whenever you ask, how can this be bigger? Your brain looks for possible solutions, but you also have to have the tools to filter out or the systems to stop any low-level thinking that may show up. Once you get mentally stronger, you will notice how quickly you start to recognize lower self-talk, deal with it, and proceed to move forward. People who appear more successful than you aren't necessarily smarter or luckier than you. The majority of them have stronger mental models and personal leadership than you. But don't worry. The good news is that you can learn this, and we're going to start that by following these action steps. So one action step that you can take is to expand your horizon. Spend 30 minutes a week looking for trends in your industry, career, or one of the other 15 areas of your life and ask, what's coming up next? Rather than just focusing on, well, what's current, what's already happening. The second thing you can do is work on a problem-solving mindset. Identify a problem in your business, career, or life. Brainstorm 5 unconventional solutions and choose one, I repeat, one to explore further. The third thing you can do is create a vision board. Not the typical one, but in this vision board, you're going to develop a visual representation of what your focus area could look like in 90 days to 1 year. Now, I know you would typically do this for 5 to 10 years, but if you notice that you tend to get overwhelmed, it's because you have too many things to do and you don't know what to focus on next. So just pick one. Just pick any area and monitor it in 90-day increments. Focus not just on success, but on how you will innovate, i.e., take action. All right, so let me know which one of the action steps you are going to implement, whether it is one or all 3 of them. Let me know when you're going to do it and post down below a start date and an end date, okay? So I trust that you enjoyed this episode, which is part of Mastering the Entrepreneurial Mindset Lessons from Ray Kroc series, where we discuss opportunistic visionary, seeing beyond the present. Stay tuned for our next episode where we will discuss obsessive attention to detail, why systems matter. Remember that being an opportunist isn't always a negative thing, because opportunities are not just going to fall into your laptop. It's your job to develop a visionary mindset that allows you to see opportunities where others see limitations. It is my hope that something I said provided value, challenged your thinking, or made you say, Let me know your thoughts below so we can turn this monologue into a dialogue. I can't wait to hear from you. And keep living life unscripted. And in case you forgot, that means to stop following the path others have laid out for you. And remember that your unique spark is the igniter to a wildfire of genius that cannot be extinguished. So until next time, see you on the other side.